Make sure we got my best side.
Your best side?
Yeah.
It's always the good side.
I don't know about that. Where?
Some days my left side is my best side. Some days my right side is my best side.
Depends on how you slept the night before.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll get things started here momentarily on the First Amendment Sports High School Basketball Preview Series. Still the music going, guys.
This should be called sweep night. Is it sweep night?
Well, we
Bronze
need
out.
it to be.
Yeah.
It's 7-4. And the Cardinals seem like they're coming back, but we're getting out of some tough innings with runners on base, closing out some innings. What are we in the eighth? This is the bottom of the eighth.
Top of the eighth. Top of the eighth.
All right, here we go, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Hey.
While the Nats are hopefully punching a ticket.
We need 1 week's rest.
All right, here we go, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night on week 2 of the First Amendment Sports High School Basketball Preview, episode 2. Doug Martin, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thanks again.
My man.
Always a pleasure.
He's Darren McClinton.
Hey, I got some stuff to get off my
Yes, some stuff
chest.
to get off his chest.
It's about Doug tonight, but we're gonna let him speak on a lot of things, DMV basketball related, and give his take on, the whole landscape of a very, very exciting high school basketball season coming up here
He's
soon.
Stevie Wonder in the background. I'm Ken Marangolo, and let's get right into it because your boy was on the news we care about, the sports news in the last year or so. Y'all's program, athletic director, team takeover, director of basketball operations, player development. I always get those two
Development,
confused.
player development.
I apologize.
Somebody got to get them better.
You gotta
Yeah.
get that title.
Stay in the lab.
Huge year for the program. You guys talk about it. I mean, you could see. I saw you on TV.
Yeah. It was a ton of fun this year. Started off, it's difficult for a program like ours because one of the things that we hang our hat on is the culture of the program. And this year, for the first time in a long time, we had a ton of new players in the program.
Yeah.
So you get
How big is the program? Like how many total people? Because I don't think people
We
appreciate
have,
the size.
Girls and boys, we probably have about 380 kids in the program.
That's a lot of good basketball players.
Yes.
In total, probably 100 coaches.
Okay. I mean, it's huge. There's a reason when you say team takeover that the name travels. People will have kids who play high school basketball, or if they're not involved in the AAU at all. So talk about the program you went up against at the very end.
Yeah. So for my 16s, we made it to Peace Jam Championship. For the last 5-6 years that I've been there, we've Final Four. That's probably where we got. So we got to the championship game, led by 3 with about 30 seconds left, and just couldn't make a couple of free throws. So we ended up losing to Team Griffin, Blake Griffin's team, in double overtime at the buzzer. So, but it was an awesome experience for those kids.
It was
mind
fun.
Ken, the 16 and under team that Doug coaches, it's a very, very important. In my opinion, it's the most important team and age group of the organization as far when you get to the high school level, because he's got to prepare these kids for what's coming next year, which is the 17U, which is what they call the big dogs. And if they can get it, if they can get the buy-in, if they can understand what it's all about, because a lot of times at 16U, you have a couple of kids that haven't been there since 13, 14, 15U. So you get a couple ringers that come in and they want to be a part of something special. Right. So so Doug has to incorporate that into
And it's the first time they're exposed to recruiting too.
exactly.
I still have some eligibility left, just for the record. We'll talk about that later.
Right. So it's a very trying time for that age kid
And the parent.
and the parent.
Hashtag one more kitchen.
One more kitchen. So, that the job that staff does, and he has a very very
Awesome staff, yep.
good staff. Shout out to Coach Vest and Butler and Ibn and
Coach Blair.
Coach Blair and those guys. They really do a great job of preparing these kids, man, for that next level. Because mind you, this is elite basketball, and this is they're teaching these kids what it's going to be like at that next level, and they're learning this, and they're getting a feel for this at 16 years old.
Ken, down there in Peachtown, we played 5 games, and I was down double figures in every game except for one down there. So the kids just never gave up. They kept battling. They kept believing in themselves, and it was an awesome run. It was an awesome run. It's the best feeling I've ever had in losing a game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't know. I just whenever I hear takeover, I think it's synonymous with elite talent. So you're around the best athletes, in basketball in the area, and you're very familiar with the manner in which they are being affected. Especially in the next 2 or 3 years, and some of the changes in rules from the NBA down to the NCAA. But I guess. Give us some highlights. They're paying kids out west.
Yeah,
there's one and doneers are being impacted. I mean, what's happening?
I think in the next the 2023 class, they'll probably do away with the one and done.
Yeah, that's gone. I mean, it's
2023,
and they have a kid that's perfect for it, Imani Bates,
for that year.
Oh.
Already we know who that guy is.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
sick.
Absolutely.
the chosen one already.
Yeah, kid out of
Good for him.
Michigan, 6'10". If KD all
6'10".
6'10".
Okay, that's all. I mean,
Legit.
And
And his age is
6'10".
He's the goods.
And his
He
age is
the
legit.
goods.
His age
as
is legit.
advertised.
Name again?
Imani
Bates.
Or E? Imani Bates.
Get it right. E.
From what?
Imani Bates.
From what hood?
As in excellent.
Which
Michigan.
place?
Michigan.
But
just outside, suburb just outside of Detroit.
All right.
Yeah.
that's important. I mean, you're talking like Eminem territory. You're talking Kid Rock territory. You're
I
talking
think
Bob
he-
Seger territory.
I think more
Motown.
Right off
Motown?
of 8 Mile.
That's what I'm saying.
Right off of 8 Mile run.
I don't know if he lives
Whatever
next,
you want. Yeah.
if he lives next to John Harbaugh, I'm guessing he's not as good as I thought he was.
No,
I hope he does not live next to John Harbaugh. That's all I'm saying.
Michigan won't see this kid.
Or Tom Izzo. But,
Right. Nah.
all right. So, what about the pay for play? How do you think about that?
I mean, it's awesome. I just want to know how they're going to implement this, man.
Darren, I was thinking about this, and Doug, I'll be interested what you think, because everyone's focusing on football, because we're in football season. Everyone's
Right,
thinking
yes,
football. The
Yep.
NCAA, this moving California, football. Time out, everybody.
How's it going to
Time
change
out.
the basketball
You have
landscape?
NCAA teams in Los freaking Angeles, along with other teams out west. I mean, you're talking about
And
Vegas.
Pac-12
Isn't that in
women's
California?
basketball is hot. It's hot out there too. So I just want to know how you.
Are you losing? Are you going to start seeing that? I mean, that's right away. I would expect guys here to consider schools they wouldn't consider otherwise.
But here's my thing. Are you a resident of California and getting the pay to play?
You're an athlete in the program.
Yeah, it's going to change recruiting.
Yes.
It's going to definitely change. It's
So
definitely
do
gonna change
our
recruiting.
kids here? I mean, so we think our basketball talent in this region
So
is amongst the best.
But okay,
Are they going out there?
Here's another thing about the difference between basketball and football. Like football, when you're trying to get to them 3 letters, sometimes you migrate towards a style of play, right? So where SEC has a certain style of play,
Big Ten.
Big Ten has a certain style of play.
Pac-10 has always been kind of wide open.
Exactly.
Yeah, but-
So now
if you can just get, all you need is 5 guys. In
Right,
basketball, you need 5 guys.
Right. So
showtime.
the
5 guys equals showtime.
and that's the thing. So if you are a linebacker, or if you're a speed guy on defense, the SEC is the way to go. They're pumping out first round or second round.
You're still gonna get paid. You got to play 2 years somewhere.
Your Terrell Lewis's, every year.
Like
So-
if you're Caleb Williams, you're not going. You're making sure you're going behind the biggest, baddest offensive line in the land because you don't want to get killed in 2 years so you can get your money.
Exactly.
So in football, you're still making money decisions.
Okay.
Right.
But you're not taking the California money.
Now, basketball. Basketball, okay, Big Ten, I understand that. Your 6'9",
UCLA,
6'10" and above.
USC,
But
Cal,
you can throw that style of play
Oregon.
out the window, and if you're a Pac-10 coach, Pac-12 coach or whatever, you can.
It's showtime.
You can change your style of play
In a year.
to every year
Every
to
year.
get the
Yep.
top guys.
Right.
By the way, I'm going to
the
pay
governor
you
has made it really, really easy for
Yeah,
me
to
You
exactly.
understand
be a
what I'm saying?
professional
So-
college basketball player in California. I'll do it. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
come on, it's the easiest
Hey.
decision ever.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Doug, speaking of that, in the NCAA, the direction it's going, what do you think about the first year of the live weekend? We had two live weekends.
Yep. 2 live
to
weekends.
where college coaches are coming into gyms and watching players play in the summertime with their high school,
Right.
as opposed to with their AAU team.
I-
you as the AAU coach,
Right. So like, and I'll give you a couple of names, for example, that I think it was a disservice that what the state of Maryland did to those kids, though, not allowing those kids to participate, the public school kids.
Sure.
And there was a case where a kid transferred, but from 1 week to the next week, he left Eleanor Roosevelt and transferred to Rock Creek for the simple fact that they were playing in that event. Now, I think I can take for the kids that I've coached. You take Eric Reynolds for Bullets. You take Devin Savage from Riverdale Baptist. Guys were very, very good for me, but they were role players for me. They played half the game, and they drew up a lot of college interest. But now you go back to Bullets, where Eric Reynolds is, one of the guys.
Yes.
You go to Devin
pillar.
Savage at Riverdale Baptist, where he is one of the guys.
Yes.
I think it's awesome for and the college coaches
Down in front up there. Can I get down in front?
and the college coaches in season don't get to see as many high school games as people think they do because they have their own season to worry about. So I think it was an awesome idea to have kids seen where they're more of a staple in their program as opposed to where you're on an all-star team almost.
So do you like it the way it's
I love
currently
it.
constructed?
I love
Okay.
it. I love it. I thought it was great. I think it gave some notoriety to some kids that not many people knew of. And if you don't play on you can be a very good player, and you know this, Dan. If you don't play on a circuit, doesn't have to be the Nike circuit. It's very, really tough for those kids to get the exposure.
And if you don't play on Sunday,
right? If you don't play on Sunday, yeah,
you're
because
not playing on Sunday, and that's what the goal is of a lot of these AAU organizations. And we stamp this. We play on Sunday,
right.
Takeover teams, we play on Sunday, and what that means, Ken, is we're playing for a championship.
Yeah.
A lot of times it can be a live tournament, and colleges don't really come with their notepad and come with the little book until Sunday.
Right, because they want to see you playing against the best.
Exactly. So Friday night, you may win a game by 40. You know what I mean? The Saturday early afternoon, and then
All your pool play games, yeah.
all your pool play games are okay. Let's filter through this. Let's get through the riffraff, and then now it's go time on Sunday. It's go time, and those are the recruitable. I'm not gonna say recruitable kids. Those are the kids that are
They're getting recruited. the
getting
most.
recruited.
Right. Yeah.
And
Of course.
that's just how it is. That's just the way it is. So a lot of these kids that maybe aren't on these Sunday playing teams, they get with their high school and they have a different role with their high school. And now the college coaches get to see them in that light.
Shine in a different light.
Anwar Gill.
Exactly.
Is
You know,
Anwar Gill a good example of that? It
and-
seems
and
like he is because he
it's-
got a
it's-
whole lot of love playing for Gonzaga that he wasn't seeming to get elsewhere.
And also, like the college coaches need to see a player play in his high school system because
It may fit
that
what he does.
mirrors
Yep.
that can mirror what they're gonna do the next 4 years. You know what I mean? So I think it's a win-win.
It was awesome. I think
You
it was
know?
awesome. My only thing is, they didn't allow the
Yep.
Maryland Public Schools.
Now,
kids to participate.
and also the DMV is so competitive that just across the border you have a Northern Virginia high school that has to go play in the Virginia
Sure.
on the Virginia side that can't play against teams that they play with in the regular season.
Right.
So I don't know how they're gonna maneuver that in year 2, but overall it was a success. In
Yeah,
my
All right.
opinion.
It was great.
It was.
Well, I mean, speaking of Anwar Gill, I guess, but also speaking of your knowledge of all things WCAC basketball, since we're talking about some games that are going to be on our schedule, certainly by the time we get to the tournament, which seems like a billion years away, and it'll
But
get
yet-
here fast
but
enough.
yet 4 months, right?
Yeah. So let's go through some programs and let's go like top 7, top 8.
Okay. I think if you go, you have to
The
start
people
off-
want to hear this too, by the way.
Yeah.
So all right.
you have to start with the guy who's the defending champ. You got 4 seniors this year, 3 of them committed already. Got a great group of young kids at Gonzaga.
We
All
just
right.
had him on last week.
Yeah,
Coach Turner, Gonzaga Purple Eagles #1.
Yeah, and I think and I